Today, we're opening up a book you won't find in any library. It's a playbook, really, one filled with strategies designed to control, to confuse, and to dominate. We're talking about the manipulator's playbook.
You know that feeling, right? Where a conversation just leaves you spinning, questioning your own memory, maybe even your own sanity. You walk away feeling like you've been completely outmaneuvered, but you can't for the life of you figure out how or why. You just know something is off.
Well, what if I told you that those interactions aren't random at all? They're often very calculated moves, tactics that are deployed with some serious precision. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and expose 4 of the most common plays so you can see the game for exactly what it is.
Okay, let's open the playbook. First play up, it's a classic. It's a move specifically designed to make you feel responsible for someone else's bad behavior. It's called the blame shift.
This is where manipulators just turn reality completely on its head. I mean, think about it. They do something wrong, but somehow, by the end of the conversation, you're the one apologizing. And it works because it preys on our decency, our willingness to look at ourselves and take responsibility. They are masters at reframing their actions as just a reaction to something you did, or maybe something you didn't do. It's an expert-level move in dodging accountability. And here we go. This just illustrates the tactic perfectly. This quote comes from someone confronting their own affair. But just notice the spin. The focus isn't on their choice, right? Nope. It's deflected, it's twisted, and it's placed right on their partner's shoulders. It is a textbook blame shift designed to create guilt and completely silence the real issue. All right, so after shifting the blame, a manipulator might pull out another play, a tactic of strategic silence. This brings us to play number 2, the Stonewall.
Now let's be clear. This isn't just someone needing a little space after an argument. No. Stonewalling is an active, aggressive tactic that's just disguised as being passive. It's like a wall just goes up, shutting down all communication. The manipulator becomes this black hole of emotion, refusing to engage, which leaves you feeling isolated and just desperate to reconnect. It's a huge power move that exploits our basic human need for connection. This example right here shows just how devastating stonewalling can be, especially when it's paired with other plays from the book. So in this case, a man gives his partner the silent treatment, withdraws completely, and then blames her supposed instability for his actions. See what he did? He creates the problem with his silence, and then he uses the blame shift to justify it. It's a nasty 1-2 punch of manipulation. The next play in the book is designed to chip away at your self-worth, basically by holding you up against some kind of impossible standard. Welcome to the comparison game. This tactic is all about making you feel less than. That's the whole point. By constantly pointing out how someone else is supposedly better or smarter or more successful, the manipulator fosters this deep sense of insecurity. And that keeps you off balance, constantly seeking their approval, which is, of course, exactly what they want. And what's really interesting here is how this visualizes a dynamic we see so often in families with a narcissistic parent. One child gets crowned the golden child. They're the embodiment of perfection. And the other gets cast as the scapegoat, the source of all the family's problems. This kind of thing pits siblings against each other and guarantees the manipulator stays right there at the center of power. And that brings us to our final play for today. And this one is particularly cruel because it hijacks your hopes and your dreams and uses them as bait. It's called the future fake. This is the classic dangling carrot. The manipulator figures out what you want most in the world, a committed relationship, a family, moving to a new city, whatever it is, and they promise it to you. This vision of a perfect future becomes the reason you stay, the reason you put up with all the other manipulative plays. The problem? They have absolutely no intention of making any of it a reality. And this quote just captures that painful cycle perfectly. You get just enough hope to stick around, right? A little taste of that beautiful future. But the goalpost is always moving. That next level just never seems to arrive. It's a repeating pattern designed to keep you hooked, sometimes for years. So, we've seen the plays. The blame shift, the stonewall, the comparison game, and the future fake. The big question is, how do you win? Well, the answer is actually simpler than you might think. You stop playing the game. The first, and honestly the most powerful step, is just seeing these patterns. Once you can name the plays, they start to lose their power over you. The goal isn't to try and convince the manipulator to change their rule book. Trust me, that's a losing battle. The goal is to understand their strategy so that you are no longer a pawn. So the most crucial thing is to just remember these plays. Burn them into your memory. The blame shift, the stonewall, the comparison game, and the future fake. Just being able to name them is the first step to disarming them. It moves you from a place of confusion to a place of clarity. Seeing the playbook for what it is gives you the ultimate power, the power to just walk away from the game. And not playing can look like a lot of different things. It might mean setting a firm boundary, saying something like, "I'm not willing to be blamed for your choices." Or maybe it's refusing to engage with comparisons by calmly saying, "Their situation is different from mine." Or it could just mean recognizing a future fake for what it is and basing your decisions on what's happening now, not on empty promises. The choice becomes yours again.
And that's really what I want to leave you with. Knowledge is your best defense. Now that you've had a peek inside the manipulator's playbook, what interactions in your own life might you start to look at with fresh eyes? What games will you now refuse to play?